Friends. Today's show is all about community theater. And today, Steph and I have two very special guests with us today, Sharon Brown and Akiva McClam. Now I'm going to introduce Sharon Brown. Sharon, first of all, is a friend. She's a sister in Christ and we attend the same church. We both serve as deacons at River of Life Church in Marlow Heights, Maryland, with Pastor Charles Whitaker and First Lady Elder Cheryl Whitaker. Sharon is an actress, director, acting coach, producer, and started her own company, It's All About You Productions. Sharon loves acting for stage, film, and television. She just started starring in a film titled On Second Thought as attorney Elaine Thompson. She's been on the HBO series Veep and the TLC show Randy to the Rescue. She also sings and was a producer for a talk show for radio on Heaven 1580. Sharon has directed several plays in the community and writes and produces plays for our church, which are great, by the way. She studied her craft at the National Conservatory of Dramatic Arts in Washington and has also studied under the award-winning Hollywood director Mary Lou Belli for sitcom comedy. And now I'm going to turn to Stephanie to introduce Akiva.
As we said, also, thank you, Julie. We also have Akiva McClam with us today. He's an acclaimed playwright and Air Force veteran. He is the founder of McClam Enterprise Productions. He is a man of many talents and is fondly called the Renaissance Man. Akiva was inspired to write his own plays after attending several of Tyler Perry's stage plays in the 1990s. His love for writing took off in 2008 when he wrote his first play in 7 days. Wow. Boy, I'm trying to write a book. It's taking 10 years. It's called My Christmas Story. That was the name of your first play. Since then, Akiva has gone on to write several more plays. His current works include Secret Lovers, Deep Cover, and Blessed. Welcome, Akiva.
Welcome, Sharon. It's been a long time. Sharon and I have been trying to get together and do something for Life Matters, and finally we're here. So amen and thank you, Jesus. Okay. So first of all, I want to know how you two connected and how long have you all been collaborating?
Wow. Okay. Who wants to? You want to?
I'll go ahead, I guess.
Sorry.
Well, actually, we connected what? On Facebook, on Facebook.
Wow.
There's some good things about Facebook, that come out of Facebook. So I think I reached out to you in July of last year.
July of last year?
Yeah, and I just reached out, sent you a message, said, hey, I'm looking for a director. And you responded within a few weeks.
And we met at Panera Bread.
Panera Bread, it was our first meeting at Panera Bread. I gave her just some of my vision, what I wanted to do for the play that's coming up. And she heard it and she liked it and she said, hey, I can do it, but one thing, I have a play coming out in December. And I think that's when we started really talking about the play and working together in December.
Excellent, excellent. Well, this just almost a year, you got a lot done.
Exactly.
Now, Akiva, you said that you got inspired to write your first play after viewing some of Tyler Perry's stage plays. What specifically inspired you? What went off in you that made you want to write your own play?
Well, it's key word you said went off of me. It wasn't my season at the time when I saw Tyler Perry plays. Which he did a great job. He set the bar for everybody who's a playwright right now into what we try to do. He said, gave a great example. But what you said, the key word, what went off in me, 2008, 2009 frame, my life started changing. A lot of things that happened to me at that point in life that God really put me on my knees. And at that time, that I was able to listen to God and hear from God. And that's when he started, dumping a lot of stuff on me, a lot of visions, revelations, and that's how I was able to write that play in 7 days.
Wow, that took some inspiration. That's awesome.
So Sharon, how did you get into theater? What led you there? And entertainment?
Well, to be truthful, ever since I was a child, I wanted to act, but I didn't pursue anything in my teenage years and early 20s and stopped there. But it was always in me to pursue it. So eventually, the Lord put it in my spirit to go to school for acting. But now professionally, acting and writing, I'd say it's been maybe about 7 years. And I got started through a girlfriend of mine. We used to just sit around the house and make up skits. And she happened to run into somebody at Motor Vehicles that had their own production company. and they were getting ready to do a show, so she, she calls me and tells me about it. We go and audition one of our skits that and they end up using us on the show. And so I ended up staying with their production company and just learned basically everything I know
Okay.
from there.
Well, I know that you're an actress and a director and a coach. So what inspires you the most? Which do you prefer?
Acting.
Okay, and why is that?
I love to be able to become the creativity of what's been written.
Mm-hmm.
And it's challenging for me, and I don't know, I just love it. I have a passion for it, and that's why I teach it. And if you have a passion for it, I can't even put it into words. I just love acting.
You have to.
Yeah.
And that's true, you really do, because, and people have to realize too that there's a difference between acting for stage and acting for film.
Right.
You really have to have a passion, and you ladies know because you're doing filming here. So, it's not anything that happens so quickly. So, a lot of times people are like, I want to do film. But then when you're on set for 18 hours, and then you can't have an attitude, you can't be tired, you have to come with the same energy that you started off with when you first arrived.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that can be tough. I know.
Sure.
I've done a little something myself. It can be, yeah.
So you have to have a passion, and if you have a passion, it comes out, because acting is not acting.
Right. Right.
Because if it looks like acting,
Right.
it's not a good actor.
Good motivation.
Yes,
Good
yes,
upstage.
yes,
So Akiva, you are a playwright. Have you always had a love for writing, or did this just occur after you saw Tyler Perry's plays and the things that you said occurred in your life started happening, or how did you come about to just really want to write plays?
That's a good question. Well, you know what? I don't have a background like Sharon. Actually, I went to school for sociology at Bethune-Cookman University, but I have no experience in playwriting. Only God, I'm telling you, God done that on me.
Wow.
And He put that passion in me to the point where that's all I think about is writing plays for Him.
Now, where do you get your material? And when you're writing plays, we've already mentioned that you've written several plays already. Where do you get your subject matter? How do you come up with, okay, this is going to be the theme of the play, the title of the play, the essence of the play, the information? How do you come up with that? Is that still God inspired?
It's God inspired, but also, when God plants something in you, He wants you to do some action as well.
Yes.
So I get on the local metro, and I sit back and people watch.
Oh my goodness. Oh my Lord.
You just sit back and watch people on the metro,
Yeah.
at church,
Yeah.
in your home,
That's
the
right.
play will develop.
So basically, you're focused and you're paying attention.
Exactly.
You're in tune to your surroundings.
You have to be.
Yeah. So that's a gift too. So a lot of people, they're focused on their own lives and just their own path, and they're not looking and really paying attention to other people, what they're
Right,
doing.
right.
So that's really good. See, that's Lord too.
Right, the Lord too, but some people call it nosy.
But you've been nosy with a purpose.
Exactly.
That's right.
Right.
So Sharon, what is your vision for developing and producing, theater and play?
I am really striving for a network because we have so much negative programming, and I really want to be able to change programming. And Washington, D.C. is a political city, but there's a lot of people in this city that want to act, that want to write, that want to produce, and what Tyler Perry has in Atlanta, I'm really looking to have here. So, what was that part of your question?
Just what your vision was.
Oh, that's my main vision. But before we get to the network, I am working now on trying to get a theater and to just have different plays that Akiva write, I write, that other playwrights in the area, and run plays like every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Just have a different play that can be, to change and help the community, because we're going to have positive plays,
Exactly.
and we don't need anything else negative.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right.
We got plenty of that.
You guys do too. So what I want to ask too is how do you expect your audiences to be impacted by the production, by the story, by the content? What do you want the impact to be?
A lot of young people are not going to church, and as Akiva, when I write, I'm inspired by God, and you can reach people through plays, through shows. I mean, that's why the world is crazy like it is, because there's so much negativity on the television now. So you can inspire people, you can impact their lives, let them know, because people are looking for something. They're looking for hope.
Yeah.
They're looking for something to change their lives, and you know, and it can just be one action in a play that can reach somebody and make them start thinking about their life. You know, and they may be able to see a way that they can change too.
Exactly. And Akiva, my next question to you is similar to Julie's. When you write your plays, what do you want your plays or your message to accomplish for the audience? How do you want your audience to come away feeling or thinking about that play?
Actually, I always want them leave with a message, right? And also able to see themselves connect or somebody on the stage.
Yes.
For an example, we did a trailer. We showed a segment of our play recently, and it dealt with the domestic violence situation. You know, and you know about the scene too. And it's a little emotional, you know. So I showed it to an individual, and I did not know that she experienced domestic violence. But when she saw it, it was so believable that she started crying. And I didn't know how to receive it. I'm like, oh my goodness. But the Lord told me that you're doing the right thing because she was able to connect.
Exactly.
And that's what I want people to do is connect on stage, you know, to see it on stage. And that's the best way of really helping somebody, giving a person counseling. You know, that you can really tell somebody about themselves, but they ain't gonna believe you until they see it on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's powerful.
Exactly.
See their own lives, their own stories.
Exactly.
Wow.
And a lot of times when you're working with artists, you'll find that they have experienced what you've written. And they can play, you know, they want the role. Because they can really bring that reality to it.
Exactly. I agree.
So would you consider that success? What do you consider success? As far as the message from your plays or the impact?
Well, I consider success as a whole fulfilling your desires. And watching people, hearing, because you hear reviews of plays, and you know, you can hear the buzz if people have received from it. And that's, when you hear people speaking positive or, you know, that was good, I could relate when that happened. And, you know, it helped me, it made me think about my life. That's successful.
Right.
You know, that's successful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what have been some of your biggest challenges? I mean, I guess either you can answer this question, but particularly for you, Akiva, what's been some of your biggest challenges or obstacles, and how have you been able to overcome them as a playwright?
And you probably relate to this, it's just finding dependable people.
Oh, yes.
You know, a lot of people, like you say, they see a lot of stuff on television, they think instantly it's gonna happen. I wanna be famous. So when they come on set and they wanna come on as an actor or an actress, they just want instant fame. But you gotta crawl before you walk.
Exactly.
So it's finding dependable people. You know, people that can really commit to your vision and stay with it.
Exactly.
We lost some people, you know, but
Yeah.
to overcome it, you know, we just kept moving on. We interviewed more people. We kept the faith. And then once somebody left, God always, you know, brought somebody's way.
And see, that was who was originally supposed to be there.
Exactly.
That's one thing I found when you're doing Christian plays.
Yeah.
You know, we start off with one set, and you may end up losing 4 or 5 people, but it was still God moving and working in there
I agree.
to
I
get
agree.
who
I agree.
was supposed to play those parts.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. So why Christian theme? Let me
Because
ask you.
they're impactful.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you have a Christian play, I know he does it, I do it, the word is inside of the play. And the word is alive. So we know it's going to reach. All we have to do is write it, and the anointing will go forth and do what it's supposed to do. And I really truly believe when you do those kind of plays, God, or people that don't even know about the play yet, He will order their steps to that play.
Yeah.
You know, because everything. And it was written specifically for those people.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. What is
We don't even know who we're writing for, but God does.
Exactly.
God knows who
Yeah.
we're written for, and He
Yeah.
orders some people to come see it, and then therefore they're getting what they should be getting.
Right.
You know,
Particularly people that may not even go to church.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
That's why every 2 weeks we want, I want to have a different impactful play running for people, because people come out to plays.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and you can still reach them.
Exactly. Exactly.
So now the people that you get to act in your plays, what's your source? I mean, do they have to be Christians? Do they go to your churches? Do you go to production companies? Or casting companies or what have you, I don't know all the lingo. How do you find your actors?
Well, I still, a lot of nights just searching the web, There's a lot of sites you introduced me to where I just put a casting call, and saying, these are the people we're looking for. And they don't have to be Christians, Remember that one scene we had somebody come out, we knew that they wasn't a Christian, but
they fit the role.
But they fit the role, And that helped. They made that scene authentic because they could feel the pain of that person. Matter of fact, he read the description of the scene, and he said, "I can do this."
Change
I can do this.
Wow.
Exactly. Right.
You bring them in.
Exactly.
It's really evangelistic, and that's
Yeah.
not always the whole purpose, especially people who are in the play
Right.
as well as the people in the audience.
And what I found that somebody like that individual came and said, "I can do this," they don't realize that, like Sharon said, God's gonna work through that person, through the play. So he actually acting, but he's getting ministered at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it happens. One of my classes, I had a Christian play that we were working from, and the guy was like, "I feel like I'm reading my life. What you trying to do here?"
Wow.
So it
Wow.
plays can really minister. They really minister to people.
Right.
And there are, he said he searches the web. You hold auditions, people that you already know.
Right.
You talk to other producers and ask them, I'm looking for such and such, and then once they come and audition, I look for passion
Oh yeah.
because you can hear it in their reading.
Oh yeah.
But if it's not in the reading, you're gonna have something to really work with.
Right.
You got a little work ahead of you with them, but sometimes that may be the person that really has the physical aspect of what you're looking for. And then you just have to put that time in working with, if they're not a seasoned, if they haven't done any acting before.
Right.
That was the other thought I was wondering, do you require that your actors have to have experience?
It's
We would
always
like
good.
that.
It's always good.
Exactly.
But it doesn't always work that way.
Right.
Right. But that's why you start off, you can tell at your audition what you're working with, and then you start planning, well, this is gonna take 6 or 7, 8 months.
Right.
Because you know what you're working with.
Exactly.
But if you got a whole group of professional actors, you can probably pull this off in 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's believable. 2 months.
Yeah.
It's definitely doable.
And as you talk about the plays and who you choose and all that kind of, I did have the honor and distinct honor
Yes,
of being
she
in one of her
did.
plays.
And she was good.
She was good.
I had no
She was
speaking
good.
role at all. I didn't need it. And she was great. She was a great director. I watched Sharon as she went through, and she had a lot of patience. I would be stressed out, pointing this like, hey. She was great. She just moved along, really flexible, because I never had to be flexible in these kinds of things. And she was really, really good.
Yeah.
And all I had to do was just kind of put my own thing into it, my own facial expressions, or a little bit more than I would normally do. I played an usher, which I am an usher. So I did a little bit more than I would normally do. But it was so much fun. And I watched you. And I know, unfortunately, all directors are not like you. So I know some actors have their favorite director, and that kind of thing. But I know, but you're good like that. But I haven't been around like directors, but I would need somebody who has that kind of patience and not stressing me out, that kind of thing. So no, you were really good. But I do want to talk about your most recent one that you all wrote. And so if either one of you all, because I know you wrote it, so if you want to share about the most recent one.
Okay, the most recent one I just recently wrote is Cain and Abel.
Okay.
Actually, we performed it in 2010, but we're bringing it back. So we actually going to do it in October. And Cain and Abel is a different type of play. There's a lot of plays talk about love and people breaking up and things like that. But this play is about my brother and I. It's true events about my brother and I being raised by our grandmother. All right. Basically, our grandmother was a strong, loving person, loving God, praying woman. And there's 2 brothers here, being raised by their grandmother, but one chose the streets and one chose God. So this page is basically open up and say, how can 2 brothers be raised in the same home and should have different lives? So there's a lot of things that, how some people will grow up saying, I'm the black sheep of the family. My brother always felt like he was the black sheep of the family. So this play was a way of me talking to my brother. I want to bring my brother back out of that life and introduce him back to God. We have talks, from time to time, but my brother today is still struggling with what went through the household when we were younger. So Cain and Abel was about me pulling and talking to my brother. And in scene 7, we have a situation where it called the conversation. And that's when the two actors in the play the two brothers meet for the first time and they have a man-to-man conversation. And then see, the one that plays Cain, he thinks that Abel, the one playing Abel, always have a good life. But when you choose God, people know that, we're Christians, we go through things too.
Absolutely.
So that brother in scene 7, he's gonna tell us, hey, we go through things too, but the way you live, you chose that life. Now you gotta choose God. So Cain and Abel is an emotional play, but it's about a grandmother and their brother going to Cain's world and pulling him back out of that life. Yeah.
And it also something that I have gotten from it too is you can be what you set your mind to be.
Right.
Because
Yes,
Cain became who he wanted to become.
Exactly.
That's right.
And Abel became who he
Right.
wanted to become.
Exactly.
Awesome. So are you also, we know that this can reach anybody, but what about young people? Because young people in our community, they need help. So do you have young people in any of your past work or anything about using them in the future, or maybe just behind the scenes just helping out, just to have something to focus their attention off the streets, off of craziness? Do you all have?
Yeah, he has.
Okay.
Yes.
You share?
Actually, we have a lot of young people in this play here, and what doesn't baffle me, what surprised me, that they are really taken to this play. We just had rehearsal last Friday, and somebody brought a friend to the play, to rehearsal, and she was so intrigued and inspired that she went to school and told her teacher, my next report, I want to write about this Cain and Abel play that's coming out. That inspired me. So she's going to be interviewing the director here of Cain and Abel and just asking her more about the play. Because she's inspired. She said, I want to get more involved because what I saw on Friday, because this is the first time the whole cast, because we're getting so close to production, the whole cast got together for the first time. So we had a lot of singing, we had a lot of praying, and these inspired these young kids that, wow, I want to be a part of this.
That's true.
Yeah.
We truly have a ministry.
Mhm.
It really is a true ministry. Now, your venue, do you always do your plays in churches or do you have plays in other venues?
It just depends on your budget.
Okay, so just wherever.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I want to answer that as well.
You can have it in different places.
Exactly. But a lot of my last 2 plays was in churches. But I had so many people opening up to my idea, blessed by God, and they allowed me to use their places for free. So why not? Like you say, if you don't have a big budget, why not use the church?
Exactly.
But we don't have a problem. We'll go to other places as well, wherever God leads us. But yes.
And we're striving, to be able to have those budgets where we can have them other places.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times you lose worldly people when you're having them at the
And
church.
that's the
Yeah.
main reason why I was asking
Right.
you what about them.
Right. So it's just, who God's gonna have to come, I still believe they'll come.
Exactly.
But my goal is to be able to eventually just have a theater. Just have a theater and do the plays there.
Exactly.
Well, tell us about some of the other messages and the other plays that you all did in the past that you may have done, or you may have done, because I know you mentioned a couple in the intro, and some of those focuses, the main topics of those pieces.
Well, I've done Our Father's Will, which he was a part of. Miracle, Red Envelope. I didn't write the Red Envelope though. But they still all end up being evangelistic. And just to reach the lost. And then to let people, we always, when I write plays, I write them based on what a lot of these young people, some of the old people are still doing. The drinking, the smoking, fornication, and just letting them see the consequences of it. And then letting them also see how God can move in and start changing your desires. And you saw that if Our Father's Will would happen with we didn't even do an altar call. People just went up to the altar.
Yeah.
And that was the first time out of the 10 years of the church, even being there, that he said, that has never happened on a New Year's Eve celebration where people just came up and they wanted deliverance and turned their lives
And
around.
I know, but you tell what the actual focus was.
Okay, the focus was on three brothers. Of course, grew up in the same household, and their mother was a praying woman. Their father had been in the church for almost 50 years, but never did anything, you know. And the stuff that he was doing at home, sleeping around with his wife, drinking, he was doing a lot of things. Each of the brothers picked up something from what he was doing. So all of them went separate ways except one. One stayed, one saw him in church and became spiritual. But the other ones became womenizers and, drinking. And so, but the mother kept praying. And at the end, it shows the oldest brother, who was spiritual, he ministered to his brothers and prayed for them all the time. So eventually they just got tired of the way they were living and wanted to come up out of it and turn their lives around.
And a couple, you had some interesting titles.
Yeah.
So you can kind of briefly, just briefly, because we don't have a lot of time.
Right.
Almost two.
Well, I tried to write these plays to, first of God, I heard him clearly. He said, the playwrights today, they're not represented well. Because what it is, people are watering down Christianity. They'll throw Jesus' name into a play and they want to stamp it as a Christian play. So each play I write is going to be about a message. So I got a play on where African neighbor is going to be called Secret Lovers and also Blessed. Blessed is about people who think they are being blessed by God. But there's a lot of time people will go out and do things, blessing and curses. For an example, if you have blessed is about a person who's got everything but still going through. And when they get to a point where they say, blessed, thank you God for blessing me with this here, but they're not living life. So blessed is about Satan also blessing people. Satan bless people.
That's right.
Because for example, you get to see some of these artists, I'm not going to go call their names and say, thank you Jesus, but they don't live it.
Right.
They don't live it.
Right.
But who's blessing them? Is it God blessing them or is it Satan blessing them? And Secret Love is about just people just do not want to fight for their marriage or fight for their relationship. I want to go and talk about all those things about a relationship or marriage that people won't fight for.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, I know you have a lot of people that work with you on these things. I know you want to mention a few people, or thank a few people who helped you with the most recent one.
Well, first of all, I just want to just thank everybody who supported me in my endeavors. First of all, I also want to thank my wife and my family for sharing me because it's a lot of work, time that I put into this. Pastor Stewart at Body of Christ in Waldorf, my pastor was doing praying for us. Pastor Jones, Aaron Jones, at New Hope Church of God in Waldorf. And I just want to just thank everybody who just supported us. Just one other person, Michael Simmons, who wrote me a song in scene 2 that I was struggling. He wrote me a song specifically for that scene. Inspirational Voices are inspirational. Anthony Slayton, thank you for just helping me out with the choir. So there's a lot of people that come out and try to support us. So I just want to thank you guys for everybody.
It takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
It does.
I don't know as much as you do, but I know it does take a
It
lot.
does.
So, thank God for all of that. And we want to thank Pastor Charles Whitaker and the
Yes.
Life family for allowing us to film here today, too.
Yes.
But I do want to, and supporting us, absolutely. We want to say, for more information on any of this, if you have young people who may be interested in this type of field and performing, for more information or community theater, you can email at info@mcclamenterpriseproductions.com or IAAYproductionsllc@gmail.com. Either one of those emails, and of course you can email us at lifematters@gmail.com, and that's a second S on matters, and find out more information because we do want to impact the community. It's not just about entertainment, it's also about ministry and reaching the lost and bringing them in for